let's get into, what are we getting into?
Game picks.
The meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes. Week 16 game picks. No more buys. I think that was last week also, but no more buys. And Saturday football is back. We've got football 4 days of the next week. I love it. Let's start with Thursday nights. Kind of an interesting game with some serious playoff ramifications. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. New Orleans Saints traveling to LA. Saints trying to hold on for that division. Rams trying to hold on for that wild card spot. I want to say right now the Rams are holding it. They are. They are currently the 7th seed with Seattle and the Saints both behind them, tied at 7-7. Like, this is basically a playoff game for these teams. Win and you have a shot. Lose and you now no longer have the head-to-head over each other. I mean, it's a huge game. Currently, the line on FanDuel, all of these lines brought to you by FanDuel. Please sponsor us sometime. It's Rams minus 4.5 as the home team. I'll start us today. I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with the home team here. Rams have actually looked pretty dang solid. Yeah. They went toe-to-toe with the Ravens, who are the number 1 seed in the NFL. Last week, the Rams, who did they have? They whooped up on Washington,
who threw Jacoby Brissett in late in the game because they were playing so bad.
Beat them by 8, 28-20. And I will say this, man, Matt Stafford has showed, maybe still has it. Can still sling it. I mean, their last 3 games they've scored, last 4 games, we'll say, 37, 36, 31, and 28. Yeah. Offense is moving the ball, man. Like, they have been efficient. A good run game. I'm impressed with the Rams. I'm not with the Saints. The Saints make me sick to my stomach to watch them, and somehow they continue to win games, and they're in the playoff hunt. I hate it. But give me the Rams as the Saints are looking forward to their next 2 games against the Bucs and Falcons. Big games. Colin.
I can't pick a Thursday night game for my life. I think I'm like 2-13 through 15 weeks, seriously. And one of those 2, I think, was Detroit week 1, where I was very high on the money line, which did hit. In this spot, I do like the Rams at home. No home field advantage either way.
No. It's basically neutral field.
It's just the Saints can't get going. I mean, they have everything you need offense-wise. They have Kamara. They have that vet at quarterback. They have Jimmy Graham at tight end.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Jimmy Graham,
How is Jimmy Graham catching tight ends in December of 2023?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. How old? He's old.
You have Chris Olave out, one of the best young receivers in the league, and it's like, what is wrong with this Saints team? You have so much talent as well on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. Like, you look at the Saints roster, and it's just like, they have a pretty formidable roster.
They really do.
And what is happening? The red zone offense is so bad. It's costing them games. And I think it cost them here as well. So give me the Rams for another Thursday night loss.
No. Addison.
We're riding that Thursday night loss, baby. Give me those Rams minus 4.5.
I love it.
I disagree. Nate Stafford has
looked decent.
He's looked good enough to the point where who wants to play them? That team marched into Baltimore and
gave them all they could handle and then some.
Exactly.
Gave them
Baltimore
all they could handle.
Have a penalty-filled punt
return touchdown
to take home the dub. So,
well,
but seriously, I mean, the Rams, the way they look right now, Donald, I see why he came back. He believed in the squad around him, and Williams coming back at running back was huge for them. I mean, since he's been back, he's dominating. Yep. Shout out fantasy winner right there. But give me the Rams minus 4.5 in a real game. Yep. Thursday night, I suck too, though, Colin. Seriously, it's bad.
I can't do it. Thursday night games are tricky, man. They're tricky. I'm telling you what. All right, let's get into the first 2 Saturday games of the year. Also, Bobby's on the Saints.
We actually had Saturday last week.
Did we Saturday last week? Did we play last Saturday? Oh, yeah, we had 3. You're right, we had 3 of them. God dang it. I'm losing my mind, man. All right, Bengals at Steelers. Huge game for both these teams. Like, Steelers are obviously completely plummeting. The Steelers are in free fall right now. People are calling for Tomlin's job. There are 20 franchises that would snatch him up in an instance. Yep. An instance.
If the Bears didn't go get him, I'd be so salty.
That'd be stupid. I mean, there's a ton of teams, potential playoff teams, that would take him as their head coach immediately. Line right now is Cincinnati on the road minus 1.5. Jake Browning and those boys are humming. Colin, what are your thoughts on this football game?
Oh, everything in your mother tells me to take Cincinnati here.
It does, doesn't it?
And
they really. Same as last week.
I know. Last week was the same spot, and they should have honestly lost that game.
To the Vikings,
if Minnesota can convert a tush push, on 4th and short, they win the game.
Yep.
Cincinnati had to come back. They are missing Jamar Chase this week. Joe Mixon is running very well the last few weeks.
He has looked awesome.
And Pittsburgh has zero offensive identity, really. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. At AFC North divisional matchup, it's going to be low scoring.
Yep.
Give me that home division dog.
Oh, man.
And it's ugly.
God dang it. Those words just get me all sorts of riled up. Addison, thoughts on this football game?
It is Mason Rudolph as the starter for this season.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph's going.
Mitch has
Mitch is done.
Give me the Bengals -1.5. Just obvious play in my mind here. So it's going to lose. That's why somehow Steelers will go. This will be their win. But the way Cincinnati's playing, Browning, sure Chase being down's big, but they have Higgins, they still have Boyd, they have Mixon in the backfield. They have Chase Brown. Shout out Illinois.
Hey, he stole some receptions from Mixon last
week.
I was like, look at him
He's
go.
got speed. He runs hard.
He's not bad. I was pretty proud of him.
Give me the Bengals to take this one. Bengals -1.5.
Yeah. Okay. This one's tricky because, like Thomas said, everything's screaming.
Have 9 wins if they win this game.
Everything's screaming. I know they'll be 9-6 with tiebreakers over some big teams too. Everything in this game screams Bengals. It screams take the better team. The Bengals are playing better. The Steelers just lost to the Cardinals, Patriots, and Colts with 2 of those games at home. They lost them all. But you look ahead, right? Mike Tomlin does what? He goes 500 or better every single season. They win games they shouldn't. They lose games they shouldn't. It's what they do. They go to Seattle next week. And then they go to Baltimore in the last week of the year. They're going to lose those games.
Yeah.
Is Tomlin going to pull some magic out of his ass and win this game at home, man? I just can't help but feel like if any coach is going to game plan for Jake Browning and figure out how to slow him down and know Jamar Chase and win a game and be like, we're back, just to fall flat on their face the last 2 weeks, I feel like that's a Tomlin thing to do, and I'm going to feel really dumb next. I took Pittsburgh last week against the Colts. Look how that turned out for me. 30-13. Absolute ass-kicking. I'm going to ride them one more time. No, I'm not. Shit! I don't know. I hate this game. Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. I have to do it.
One concern I have, obviously, Pickens, I don't want to get injured. Well, buddy, get the fuck out the game.
Yeah, then you're done. I don't want to get injured blocking. I don't want to get injured blocking. Whatever.
Deontay Johnson earlier in the year, though, similar thing where it's like a play and it's a guy clearly quitting, and I just...
Are they giving up?
Is it Tomlin just... They're a little... I don't know. Not saying the game's passed, but like, are the people in the locker room just a little bit different? You know what I mean? Are they not the same men that he was leading the past decade and a half?
Right.
And I don't know, maybe they don't buy in as hard because Tomlin used to, it was no question, you know what I mean? You're getting the same Steelers every week. It's going to be this like 100% effort going all in every snap. You just don't see that, and it's sort of shocking.
It is. It has been disappointing for sure for Pittsburgh, especially with this late season collapse. All right, let's get into a game that could have been a really good football game, especially when like we were looking at the schedule early season. It's like, oh baby, Buffalo going to the Chargers. Allen versus Herbert. Oh, it's going to be a great game. Herbert done for the year. And now it's Allen versus Easton Slick back. And that is going to get ugly. Addison, who are you taking in this one? What are your thoughts here?
Well, Easton Slick is about to have the game. No, I'm taking the Bills. -12.5. Big spread, don't care. If James Cook can play the way he did last game, watch out for the Bills in this offense. And... the Chargers are just abysmal right now. They allowed 63 to the Raiders, who had just been shut out the prior week. I get maybe a bounce back, 30 from the Raiders, but 63, holy shit.
Yeah, ugly.
Bills can score 80. But give me the Bills -12.5 in a beatdown. Don't know how the Chargers score a lot of points, and the Bills will score a lot.
Yeah.
Pretty good analysis right there.
That is pretty good analysis.
This is going to be the truth, though. Watch.
Spot on. Yeah. New coaches, man. New coaches come in the league. And the team plays well. I don't know who their new coach will be for this week. I don't know who their interim is. It's not Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore didn't want it because he didn't want it to look like... This is what I read. Kellen Moore didn't want to take the interim job because he was afraid it would hurt the likelihood of him getting a head coaching job this offseason. Because he thinks they're going to suck. And he's like, I do not want to put my name on this. Like, I'm the offensive coordinator. That's all I'm in charge of. I'm not in charge of everything else. I don't love that. I do think that locker room gave up, though, completely on Brandon Staley.
Oh, yeah.
Completely gave up. Is this a bounce-back spot? Are we on that Buffalo roller coaster where Saturday night, underneath the bright lights, Sean McDermott and those boys fold like origami? No. Buffalo -12.5 here. I don't think Buffalo folds until they play the Patriots next week when they lose outright at home. Yeah, when they lose at New England or in Buffalo. But they're going to win this game against Chargers. Chargers are so bad.
Jiff Smith or Giff Smith?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Giff Smith?
Giff.
I'm trying to see what his actual assistant coaching what he
they're
did.
Toast. They're so toast. I really wanted.
Apparently, he's been an assistant in the league for 32 years.
That's wicked that he's getting a shot.
That's cool. I really want to take the narrative play of new coach bump. That is a real thing. Ask the Raiders how it goes. The players were happy Staley got fired. This isn't a Frank Reich situation where you're like, damn, we just got a respected head coach fired mid-season because we're that bad. No. This is this guy's a bad coach.
We got a clown fired finally.
Yeah, we finally got this dude out of the freaking building, and we got Giff Smith taking over. I want to play that narrative, but Buffalo's red hot. Is this where they trip up? I don't know. But I'm going to take Buffalo minus 12.5 here. Colin.
Last week on the road, Chargers are down 49-0 before they score a point.
They're so bad.
Last week, Buffalo kicked my team's teeth in.
Yeah.
All the way down their throat.
Yeah. They shit him out, I think.
Or as DeMarcus Lawrence would say, you hit a motherfucker in the mouth, and you hit him again, and you hit him again, until he quits, and then you hit him again.
And you hit him again.
That's what Buffalo did to Dallas last week. And it's so hard not to take the Bills here, so I got to take Buffalo. Minus the 12.5.
Really hard not to take Buffalo.
I could easily see this being 38-6. I could see this being 38-6.
Yeah, same. Genuinely same. Starters are out in the fourth quarter, not playing anymore.
Outside linebackers coach.
Outside linebackers coach, and he goes to head coach. That's an interesting jump to make.
And I want to say, I don't know how many times Buffalo maybe has gone out to L.A., but all I remember is week 1 last year when they played the Rams, Super Bowl champs, and they just beat the shit out of the Rams in that stadium.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo does it again.
They won the Super Bowl that game.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl.
Hung the banner.
Yeah, hung the banner. September champs, man. They're the September champs. I will say briefly before, obviously we're not talking Texans yet, C.J. Stroud likely out Sunday against the Browns, which is why that line flipped so much.
That makes sense.
This morning it was Texans minus 2.5. It is currently Cleveland minus 2.5. So big jump there. But we'll get to that one when we get to it. We're going next up, mine and Collins, Indianapolis Colts. Going to Atlanta to take on those Falcons as the Colts are tied for the division lead in the AFC South. Addison, who are you taking in this game, pal?
I'm taking the Colts because the Falcons suck.
They're bad.
The offense is horrendous.
It's terrible.
Defense is decent, but man, Colts are just playing well right now. Shane Steichen's got those boys humming, and they're going to win that division potentially without Rich, man. And I'm sick to my stomach because I'm going to be Gangnam Style
for a minute. It's going to be awesome.
Make sure y'all tune in because that's going to be a wicked video.
That is going to be my favorite video of all time.
I might just die.
I might just quit, never come back, and we never saw him again.
They never saw him again.
I've been on the Falcons train all season. I've been really, come on, you guys can do it. I believe in your roster. I believe in the team. But you know what I don't believe in officially, which I should have just given up on him a while ago, is Arthur Smith. I don't believe in him as a head coach anymore. You don't lose to the Panthers 7-9, dude. No. What are we doing?
With the division in your hands.
Right in your hands.
Lose to the one-win Panthers.
I thought he was figuring it out on giving his better players touches. I was wrong. He gave Bijan Robinson 7 carries compared to Tyler Allgeier's 14. What are we doing? He threw the ball to Kyle Pitts 3 times. We threw the ball to Drake London twice. Jonnu Smith led the team in receiving yards. It's just not that hard to give the ball to your good players, man. I am just sick to death of Arthur Smith's. I cannot wait for him to get fired at the end of this year. I really can't. And hopefully they bring in a decent quarterback because Desmond Ritter's obviously benched for Taylor Heineke. I'm all on the Colts in this game just because they're the better team. This isn't even just a want play for me.
If you're Atlanta, you say, here's the future. Let me go get Caleb Williams.
Yeah, let me trade up to 1. Here's our next 4 years worth of first-round picks. Please and thank you. We need something.
Or you trade 2 first-round picks and sign a unanimous MVP quarterback.
True.
Who's 26 years old. Not even.
I cannot believe that they just
I still think that was fake, though. I think if it came down to it, Ravens would have said no that second.
Yeah, probably.
But still, you gotta
you may as well make the call.
Atlanta said no.
You don't call a press conference and get to the podium. We are not interested.
Yeah, it's all right, guys.
It's
relax,
okay.
Relax.
Okay.
Are you sure you're not interested in the 1 seeds quarterback?
Right. We believe in Desmond Ridder. Nobody, not even his own mother, believes in him.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. Jeez.
Unanimous division winners, potential 2 seed in the NFC if they have Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
1 seed.
Yeah, them and San Fran duking it out.
That division they play in too.
Yeah, they might have 12 wins right now if they had Lamar Jackson. Colin, who are you taking this game?
Fucking sick.
It does.
Indianapolis is a very good road team, 5-2 on the road. Falcons obviously better home versus road team.
Yeah.
Is Michael Pittman playing? Because he's not on the injury report, but that was the most gruesome hit I think I've ever seen.
That was a brutal shot.
Yeah, season-ending hit for a Steelers player.
Yeah, Casey Dunn.
Suspended.
Yeah, Pittman's not on the injury report, so I think that's a big thing. If he's not playing, I really like Atlanta here because I think he is such a big weapon for Gardner Minshew in that offense. Either way, just give me Atlanta here. Fuck it. They need to win a little bit more than Indianapolis does.
Yes, they do bad.
If you'd argue that.
Too bad.
And it's a hedge for my bet.
I was literally just going to say, that's a brilliant hedge by you.
Falcons.
Well, if Atlanta wins, great.
If Madison didn't say anything, I wouldn't have even thought that realm. I was going to Atlanta
that's
all the
brilliant.
way, but
that's very
sure,
smart hedge. I love that.
Why not?
Alrighty, and then Bobby's riding the Colts with us.
What do I have to lose? Last place in our picks?
Yeah.
Bobby's on the Colts.
Bobby's on the Colts and on the Chargers. I didn't say that. Bobby's the only one on the Chargers. I respect it. It's 12.5. It's a lot of points. A lot of points.
But just taking that new coach bump.
New coach bump,
What's
man. I respect
cooking in there?
I know. What's this guy cooking in there? Alrighty, Seattle at Tennessee. Seattle coming off of an awesome victory over the Eagles.
Tennessee coming off of a choke.
Huge choke to the Texans, and not even Davis Mills. Case Keenum was the QB, man.
Shout out that guy.
Shout out Case Keenum.
Played COD with him, man. I'll tell it every time.
Played COD with him, really?
Yeah, way back in the day. He's like, yeah, man, he's this quarterback. We're like, bullshit.
Liar.
And he's like, nah, man,
No,
Case
dude,
Keenum.
Case
Like,
Keenum,
I guess
bro.
we believed him, but it's like, why the fuck would he be making that up?
Yeah, true, fair.
He's like the leading passer for college football. I don't know if he's
He was a
like
Heisman favorite his fifth
Yeah.
year, because I think he played 5 years at Houston.
He was real good.
Crazy.
Who knows? Yeah.
But Seattle minus 2.5 on the road after a big win. Drew Lock has had them boys slinging, had them humming. Big win, man, over the Eagles. The Eagles kind of fraudulent, honestly. Really disappointing how badly they have been, how bad they've been recently. But we're not talking about them. We're talking Seattle, and I'm going to go Seattle minus the 2.5 points at Tennessee here. I like Seattle in this game, man. Will Levis got rolled up on at the end of their game last week and played their limp for a minute. I was like, is this fucking guy okay? Was on the injury report, didn't practice, hurting. I love Seattle in this spot with Geno or Drew Lock. I mean, just give the ball to Kenneth Walker for my fantasy team and for your team. He's better with the ball in his hands. He's a very, very good running back. He gashed Philadelphia last night. Go Seattle. Addison, you got a weird look.
Well, I was just thinking, you're going down in sleeper playoffs.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Your team looked damn good last week.
I guess it goes in the bench kind of crazy, too. All right. Anyway, I'm going Seattle here as well. I will say Tennessee, bright spot. Will Levis, though, just for the future, man, you got to be gritty. Because second-round pick that seemed nobody wanted.
No one wanted
can't take this guy. They say, we'll take this guy.
Fine, we'll take a shot.
And he looks like a quarterback for the future that I'd at least be excited in, but that does not matter for this upcoming Sunday. No, it does not. Give me Seattle minus 2.5, right in a massive high, but they're going to be... I mean, this is it, though, for the playoffs, though. So they got to win this game, and just don't see how Tennessee can keep up with Seattle. I mean, as crazy as it is, they just have so much weapons. It's easy for Drew Lock to go in, target DK. Look what happens. Shocker.
Right. Wow. Or Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Taylor
Lockett, man. I know what.
Just what a catch by Smith-Njigba, just a little bit
farther
out of his reach. He still got it. I mean, that's a damn good receiver right there. That shows me anything. Sure, you want to say he's been a bust all year, don't care. That play right there alone.
He's got the
gives
talent.
me it right.
He's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Seattle needs this one bad, man. They've got to stay in. This is their last real good.
Yeah.
All right, we got this one.
Yeah. In Tennessee, there's not the full game of good drives.
No.
They're going to have 4 good drives in the game. That might result in 17, 21 points. But
is that going to be enough?
And do they even get that as well, though? So,
right.
And I just think Seattle could outmatch that.
I like it. Colin.
Dumbass figure.
Yeah, all right.
Titans.
Tennessee, baby.
I couldn't love them more in this spot. Seattle, anytime a team is off a primetime win and a big win against a good team, I love fading him the next week. Tennessee, 1-6 on the road, 0-4 in their division. Neither's a road, not a division game. Tennessee 4-3 at home, averaging about 3 more points at home than Seattle does on the road. I really like Tennessee in a spot here.
Wow, all right, I'm with Braves. Also, just for the people at home, you want to save some money going to a playoff football game. Those tickets are not cheap. You can literally just save $20 by putting in Playbook Sports at SeatGeek.com when you order your tickets. For an order, your order's going to be more than $30. Spoiler alert, tickets aren't cheap to playoff games. But save yourself $20. It's real simple. It helps us, helps you. Everybody wins. No one loses in this situation. Come on, use the stupid code. It's a great deal. I like
beer's
that.
on us.
Yeah, beer's on us, guys. Think of us when you buy your beer. Yeah, something. Have a beer. In a playoff atmosphere, man. Those beers are expensive. Woo! Alrighty, we got an NFC North matchup. Now, if Detroit had lost to Denver last week, this one would have been for, high stakes. Mm-hmm. But Detroit's got a 3-game lead with 3 games to go. They would have to completely collapse to not win this division. They've got Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings again. So, if they lose this one here, this could be huge. Detroit on the road right now, -3. Colin, what are your thoughts on this football game?
It's a tough one to read because Detroit bounced back, played in a dome last week. We know they're a hot weather team, a dome team. At least Jared Goff is.
Jared Goff is for sure.
I don't know, because I feel bad, because I feel like I really went off on Detroit last week or 2 weeks ago, and then they came out and actually dominated. So now I might be a little remorsing.
But they looked so bad going into this past weekend.
They did, but they're a different team in any dome.
Yeah.
They're a different team. Minnesota looked damn good, too, though. They should have won, probably.
Should have beaten Cincinnati. Yeah.
Give me Detroit here. I know the home division dogs in play here, but just give me Detroit.
Yeah, you said it, my friend.
I know it.
Give me that home division dog and Nicky Mullins. I like Minnesota in this spot, plus the 3. Detroit did just absolutely spank Colin's honorable mention, Denver Broncos, who immediately said, "Oh, thanks, Colin. That was a mistake."
Oh, someone finally gave us recognition.
We've got hope. And then just completely shit the bed. I do not like to see Russ and Sean Payton yelling at each other. That was a tough one. They just got spanked. Like, Detroit was just the better team all day. Jared Goff threw 5 touchdown passes. I mean, they looked awesome. I like them to come down just a little bit here against Minnesota. I mean, yep, okay, we're recency bias here. Detroit's back. They're all the way back. Guys, they just barely beat the Bears. They lost to the Packers. Just barely beat the Saints. Lost to the Bears before the Broncos game. Like, this is a team that is up and down, up and down, up and down. They're all over the place. I like Minnesota to be more physical. I like what Brian Flores' defense is doing. I never said he was a bad DC. Terrible head coach. Maybe a terrible person. Very good defensive coordinator. He knows how to call defenses. I mean, there's no talent on that Minnesota defense, and they play good football. So I like Minnesota in this spot as the home division dog. Addison, a couple of your rivals here, dude. Yep. Get out. Thoughts?
I'm going to go with Detroit with Colin on this one in the Dome. I just like the offense. We're talking about a pumpkin last year with Seattle. They honestly weren't that, but I think Minnesota is that big time this year. I mean, look at the last couple of games. Lost to the Broncos, choked by 1.
Yeah.
Bears lost by 2. Scored 3 and escaped the Raiders. And then in overtime lost against the Bengals. All at the wrong time, too. All at the wrong time as well. And Detroit getting to get back together a little bit. I'm going to just go with the offense. Just too many weapons. Laporta, best rookie tight end ever.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say it already. Man. I don't care. The times are different. His numbers are insane.
His numbers are crazy good.
They got 2 great backs. They got Amon-Ra, who's 100 yards pretty much whenever they want.
Yep.
It's a little bit too much, and Goff, massive game, no turnovers in the 5 touchdowns.
Finally,
he's up and down.
He is
Guess
up
what?
And down.
He's up right now. Give me those Detroit Lions minus 3.
Yeah, they needed that one. Man, Jahmyr Gibbs is fun to watch. He's got burst.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Obviously, we'll never know if Bijan stays in Atlanta and doesn't ever get the workload. But, like, is Jahmyr Gibbs just better? He might be just better. He's got way more burst. He's real fun to watch. And, yeah, Sam Laporta's been crazy.
Yeah, Laporta's
760 yards and 9 touchdowns with 3 games together.
Yeah, I don't remember the second one, but it was Ditka and another tight end. He's one of 3 rookie tight ends in history to put up those numbers.
And he still has 3 games, too.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to put up over 5.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That is crazy. All right. That'll be a good game. That's one to watch for sure. Next up, this is a game probably not one to watch. 2 eliminated teams as the Miami Dolphins eliminated the New York Jets last week, and that felt good. Aaron Rodgers today said, I'm not 100%. I'm not pushing to play. I'm probably a couple weeks away. We all knew that.
A couple months away.
We all knew that this was all literally a publicity thing. And also, after he watched that game, how can he want to go out behind that offensive line? That offensive line is a bunch of turnstiles. I mean, there were plays where 4 of their offensive linemen are looking for people to block because the guys they're supposed to block are tackling the quarterback. Horrible play. They are terrible. And they're hosting the Washington Commanders equally as terrible, except they look competent at times. They played the Rams close last week. 4-10 versus 5-9. A couple of real dumpers. It's ugly. I mean, you look at the Commanders' last 3 games. We won't even count the Giants' loss to Tommy DeVito. But the last 3, 45-10 to the Cowboys, 45-15 to the Dolphins, 28-20 to the Rams. Commanders are terrible. Jets are terrible. I mean, what is there good about this game? Who's going to play quarterback for the Jets? Zach Wilson went out and didn't come back. Trevor Siemian came in. Yeah, he concussion.
His mom had to come out.
Yeah,
his wrist.
Yeah. It's his wrist, dude.
That's what they said.
That's what they said initially when he went out, and then it's like, oh no, he actually had a concussion. We just didn't check him because we didn't want to. God, I hate the game. I'm gonna take the home team. I'm gonna take the New York Jets here, and hope their defense can slow down the Commanders. Man, it's ugly. It's ugly. Give me them Jets. That makes me want to puke saying it. Colin, thoughts on this football game?
I think this game could come down to a defense or a special team score, one way or the other. Because, like you said, I don't know what offense does it with Jacoby Brissett, likely the quarterback for Washington, and then maybe Trevor Siemian or who for the Jets here. Talk about an all-time bad beat with Washington that blocked PAT at the end of the game. The line was 48.5 over-under, and it was 28-20 with the PAT to go, and it was blocked.
No way!
I couldn't imagine having that over-under. Brutal. Just give me the Jets at home, embarrassing another elite quarterback in Jacoby Brissett.
Right, that's right. Just continue to embarrass elite quarterbacks. Yeah, crazy. Addison, your New York Jets.
I'm just not going to be able to get any games if we keep picking the damn same games. Our only difference is Detroit.
I know it is. I was just thinking about that. It's because we are like-minded. It's a good sign or a bad sign.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go Washington.
Respect.
Just because I need a game and a road team. Jets stink.
Jets are
Jacoby Brissett.
bad.
Beef Brisket's about to come in and ball. That's all I know. Beef Brisket. Terry McLaurin is not going to be doing cardio. Well, I guess he will be when he catches 150 and 3 touchdowns.
Well, he might.
On Sauce Gardner.
That would be awesome. I would fucking love it.
Nah, but this is two ugly teams, and you look at it and think Jets, I will admit. Because,
you really do. But
and that's why I'm going to watch.
I mean, the Jets haven't even been that. Like, the Jets' defense has a lot of talent, but they've still given up a decent amount of points and yards. They're not top 5 in either of those statistics. Commanders have decent offensive play. Yeah. Commanders have the worst defense in the NFL by 50 points, though. They've given up 423 points.
Well, then you just go look at that Jets' offense.
It's abysmal. Bottom of the barrel.
I will say, though, the Jets put up 30, but against Houston when they just couldn't move the ball. But the Commanders can move the ball, though.
Yep.
I will say this, obviously, we'll get into it in the offseason. We're going to see how much Rodgers wants to win. You got to say goodbye to some boys if you want that offensive line to get better.
Yeah.
Bye-bye some of your friends that you
bye
brought
Billy
in
Turner.
Yeah,
bye-bye Alan Lazard. Bye-bye Randall Cobb.
No,
Alan Lazard, 4-year deal, and he's horrible.
Terrible. So it's like, Rodgers, you got to commit to the squad.
Right, do you want to win or not? Because if you want to win, we can't just keep bringing in the Green Bay Packers rejects.
Yeah.
These are guys the Packers didn't want to pay, and we're bringing them in because of you.
Yeah.
It's not working, dude. It isn't working. We got to do something else. They've got some stuff to figure out for sure. I do feel bad. Like, their defense is built to play with a lead, and they haven't had a lead, like, all season.
Yeah.
They can't rush the quarterback because they have to continually drop people because they're getting cooked because they're on the field the whole game. I feel for them. I feel for them a little bit. Just a skosh. Alrighty. Let's get into it. Kind of an ugly game again. Bobby's on Washington with you, by the way. Green Bay at Carolina. Green Bay minus 4.5. Green Bay coming off of a couple of tough losses, man. They were sitting pretty for the playoffs. They were locking it in. Hey, we're going to be a wild card team. We're fighting for that division. And then they've fallen flat on their faces with losses to Tommy DeVito and Baker Mayfield, who first ever opposing quarterback to have a perfect passer rating in Lambeau, ever. Oh. First ever, 158.3.
Shout out Baker.
Shout out Baker. Shake and bake, baby. It's Green Bay minus 4.5. Bobby's on Green Bay. Carolina looked decent. I'm taking Green Bay here, though. I can't take Carolina ever. It just... 4.5 isn't that many points. I think Green Bay can cover this many points and keep their season alive, hurt their first-round pick, which they don't have. No, they do have their first-round pick. Hurt their first-round pick a little bit because I don't think they're going to sneak into the playoffs. I don't think the Packers are a playoff team this year. They shot themselves in the foot way too much early on in this year. Panthers stink, but Packers are 6-8 and they're dead too. I'm going with the Packers. It's only 4.5 points. Colin, what are your thoughts? I did not make a compelling argument for the Packers, by the way.
I can't pick the Packers games either for my life.
Oh, I should have made you go first!
I'm going to take the Packers here.
No!
I just think Carolina's so bad. I mean, just looking ahead to my locks for the week, Carolina's played 6 home games. They haven't scored more than 17 points in a single home game.
Oh my god, dude! That's why their tickets were selling for 45 cents.
I saw that, dude.
On ticket
and they
websites.
panned the stadium before kickoff, and it's like 100 people.
Yeah.
Just give me Green Bay here. Somebody has to win this game. I guess they could tie.
They could.
Just give me Green Bay here, though.
Yeah.
No reason behind it.
I'm sick to my stomach because I'm also taking Green Bay.
What?
Yeah, minus 4.5. I think there's this chance this bounce back week for the offense. Carolina can't score. Atlanta's offense was so bad they couldn't do anything. Green Bay's offense will at least be able to do something. 14 to 17 points wins this game. Green Bay can manage that. I just don't see how Carolina can keep it within that close, so they're not going to cover.
Yeah, I agree. It's a team, man. I don't love it.
Catching up.
I don't love it, but we're clean sweeping the Packers. That's hilarious. All right, next up, we had one that line shifted a ton today. Initially, it was Houston minus 2.5. It is currently Cleveland minus 2.5. Is it going to be Case Keenum? Is it going to be Davis Mills? I don't think it matters, man. I don't think it matters. Cleveland is damn good. Not nearly as good on the road. Honestly, if the Bears were playing Houston and Houston had to start Case Keenum or Or Davis Mills. I think the Bears beat them. Genuinely, I think the Bears would beat Houston in this spot. I don't think the Bears are as bad as their record shows. I think they've had some bad beats, my friend. Tough roll. Cleveland, though, they're both fighting for a playoff spot. They both need it. Cleveland against a backup quarterback. I like them in this spot on the road. It makes me a little sick. If C.J. Stroud's playing, I'm all over Houston, but it's not C.J. Stroud, man. And Joe Flacco, maybe they're going to tell him this week, hey, buddy, let's just hold on to the ball a little more careful with the passes. Let's not throw a ton of picks. Like, Joe Flacco's going to throw it. They're going to call play, and it's going to be the throw is supposed to go to wide receiver A. He's going to throw it if he's open or not.
Yeah.
The ball's going to the wide receiver A. I don't care. And that can be bad, especially against a D'Amico Ryans-led defense. But only 2.5. I like Cleveland to win this game and get to 10 wins somehow. Without their QB, man. I like that spot. Colin, thoughts?
I'm going to take the home team here, underdog. Houston goes into Tennessee, which isn't a juggernaut by any means, last week and wins in overtime. Houston's 5-2 at home this season. Much better home team versus road. Cleveland, much better home team versus road.
For sure.
Just give me Houston here. Their 2 losses at home was their first home game against the Colts, and their second one was a flag fest that Jacksonville ended up squeaking out by 3. On a 60-yarder hit crossbar.
I think so too, yeah.
Give me Houston at home. Fuck it.
Okay, I like it.
I'm also taking Houston at home, man. Need that pick.
Love it.
Cleveland's offense, if you can create that pressure, we're going to see if Houston brings a little bit of extra heat this week because that's clearly how you dismantle Joe Flacco. Yeah. And I will say, Bears' rush defense, damn good, but the Cleveland rush offense last week was abysmal.
Terrible.
So
Terrible.
If Houston can hold them to that as well, it's going to be a long game. And Case Keenum just, and who knows, maybe it is Stroud, but most likely out is probably out.
I think that's what they said.
And with the line shifting as well, all that, I don't care. They'll give me the Houston plus the 2.5 at home. Need it.
Another game where you really wish both starting quarterbacks were playing.
What?
Another game where you do. I will say, Texans just signed quarterback Tim Boyle to practice squad.
Oh, God.
They feed the Tim Boyle show, baby. Come on.
How?
How does he keep getting jobs?
Third string. He's got to be a genius. He's got to be a genius.
How does he keep getting jobs?
Like, does he have some sort of, civil case against the NFL?
He must. And they're like, we have to keep him on a roster.
Nah, he's
keep us out of the courts, we'll give you a roster.
He's Dan Orlovsky. Can look it, see it all, can never physically do it.
Just can't do it. He's not good enough talent-wise. I don't know. It's funny. That's hilarious.
That makes me want to change my pick.
It's terrible.
That makes me want to change my pick.
He's going to be in pads on the sideline. Just as that third string emergency.
Yeah, emergency QB. He may be back.
That actually really pisses me off.
That's hilarious. All right. Let's get into the 3 o'clock slate here. We've got Jacksonville at Tampa Bay. Jacksonville completely falling apart right now. Tampa Bay trying to run away with that division a little bit here. 8-6 going up against 7-7. Both teams need it. Both teams got to have it. Bucks have Jags, then they host the Saints, then they go to Carolina. They've got the easiest path forward, I think, for their division. Win out and it's theirs. Oh, man, am I going to pick them over the Jags? I think I am. I'm going to take Tampa. I'm not going to go first because I'm going to go first next and be nice to you guys. Addison, who you got in this game?
I'm going Jacksonville, and hey, if you're looking for great analysis for this one, sorry. I'm only doing this because I need them to win so I don't have to fucking Gangnam Style, man. Like, that's seriously going into a lot of my picks as well. Houston as well. I need that shit. So I need Jacksonville to get their shit together, plus 1.5. They're a better team getting points. Don't care they're on the road. It's a short travel. Jags fans can be there if they need to be. Tampa Bay does have decent home field. I'll admit it, but Jags, again, you're right there. Let's show up, show out. You're used to the weather. And they need this damn game to get the ship right. Cannot fall to 4 in a row. You're not going to be in first place this week if you lose. No. Simple as that. So Jags, let's get it going. Plus 1.5 for the Jags, right? You said that.
Yeah, Jags plus 1.5.
Yeah, the better team getting 1.5.
They are definitely the better team.
Just go win this damn game outright. Come on, please. Screw the Colts.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna take the Bucks. I'm gonna do it. I feel stupid doing it, but
I know their offense is elite. It can be elite.
Good,
if Baker is just doing competent football,
just
watch out. He's got weapons. They've got a run game, and their defense is still stout.
Yeah,
I like the Bucks, man.
I do too. I mean, the Bucks' last 3 games, they beat the Panthers by 3, beat the Falcons by 4, beat the Packers by 14. I am very impressed with that win over the Packers.
Yeah.
Packers were fighting for a playoff spot going into Lambeau. Baker Mayfield, 381 yards and 4 touchdowns, man.
The thing that I love is the Packers sort of did what they always do. They tried to keep themselves in it with a touchdown here, touchdown, and then the Bucks would answer with their own touchdown.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, watch out.
Yeah, Baker and those boys are going, and hand up, man, I was very wrong on the Bucks going into this year. I think most people were down on them. I think I had them winning like 3
I said
games,
they were going to be Caleb Williams, get him quick, keep Evans, keep all these guys. But Baker, man.
He might be the answer there for them in the future. I'm going to take the Bucks here. They're getting points, and I think Jacksonville's more talented roster. but they have just looked bad. Like, these teams are last 3 games. Bucks have won all 3. Jags have lost all 3, man. They're falling apart right now. Lawrence has looked kind of shaky. First 48 games, he's 20-28. Daniel Jones, 19-29. So, I don't know what are we talking about here, you know? Just saying. His team, there's no reason for Trevor Lawrence to be taking this step back.
No.
To having 3,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Well, there's no excuse for this.
That's true, but
right?
They are a run-reliant team. If they get that run game going, they love it. But he still is on pace. He's going to hit over 4K.
4,000 yards.
And this is just true. Like, it's his 3rd year, but this is like his sophomore slump.
And I know
we're not counting early.
And I know it's dumb. I know it's dumb because he hasn't looked what
we expect him to take that leap.
45 to 5,000.
Yeah.
I think 35 plus touchdowns. But I mean, can we harp on a guy that right now, if they control their destiny, they can win.
They can win out
3 games.
Absolutely.
This is their toughest game left.
Yeah. I think it is.
I'm pretty sure they play Tennessee. I think maybe even the Panthers.
They do. Panthers and Titans next. They have to win this.
They win this game. They win the division.
Definitely.
And you can't harp on a guy too much, but you're not wrong, though, because where is it, man? We want to see it.
Right.
We want to see it, because I don't want to win ugly. I don't want to win 11 games ugly,
He's supposed to be the guy. And he just lost at home to Baltimore where he scored 7 points.
You were about to take that step up to be in the talk of Mahomes, Allen. You could have been there after this year, man, and now you're going to be a level below a bit.
You're going to be floating around that. When we talk top 10 quarterbacks, he'll be floating like the 7 to 10
Like Kirk Cousins is going to have an argument
range.
that he's better than him right now.
Agreed. Because his weapons are great.
Yeah.
Just hurts for him. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, like, his weapons are fantastic. Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, fantastic 1-2.
And
Zay Jones, a great 3. Yeah. Evan Ingram has been very solid.
Backfield's good.
Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby as well. Like, you have every weapon you could possibly want, and you have a good head coach. I just don't see it. He's only been sacked 32 times. Like, that is lower in the league. Yeah. I just expected this big leap from him this year, and I've just been a little disappointed in it. Colin, what are your thoughts here?
I just hate that he got hurt with the ankle injury, because you look at it, 9 touchdowns in his first 9 games of the year. That is bad.
Yeah.
But then 9 touchdowns in the next 3 games. Yeah. So it's like, okay, here's the Trevor Lawrence, then he gets the ankle injury, and that's, the last 3 games have been trash again.
Yes.
And their defense hasn't been great either.
Should you sit out, man? Should you just sat and got healthy? We've lost 3 games anyway.
Right, we already lost them. May as well sat out, dude. Yeah, I agree.
Did you make your
I took Tampa.
I'm going to take Tampa here as well. Not only is Jacksonville's offense been a little lackluster and underwhelming, their defense hasn't been good. And that's been a thing all year long. We talked about it in the mock drafts for this past draft. You got to go out and you got to get help defensively. And
Yeah.
They don't have
corners are bad. Mike Evans and the Godwin are going to feast.
I mean, Flacco threw for 311 yards, 3 touchdowns against him the week before. And then the Ravens just diced him up. Like Lamar and them cooked him. They didn't even have to play that great. They just gashed him. And then the Bengals the week before that, wasn't that Jake Browning? Yeah, it was Jake Browning. 354 and a touchdown against them, man.
Spread outright winner.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the Jags defense has struggled, and it's just both sides of the ball right now are not playing good football. They've got to get going.
I could see this being a big Rashad White game.
Yeah.
I could see this being a big Rashad White game.
They're going to need it. It's going to be a good one. I will say Mayfield's stats compare pretty nicely to Lawrence's. That's insane to me. Like, Mayfield's got 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 picks. Lawrence has 3,500, 18 and 10. Mayfield's balling, dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game. That will be a surprisingly good game. All right, next up, we've got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Chicago Bears. Big one for draft implications, I would say. Both of these teams, I mean, Arizona's right now probably sitting in like the 3 range for their pick. The Bears will have Carolina's first-round pick, which will be first overall more than likely. And then their own pick right now is in the middle of that, like, top 7 picks or so. I would say Bears are right there. And I'm going to be the gentleman, and I'm going to go first because I cannot pick a Bears game right. I mean, I pushed last week because it was 3. It pushed. I just can't get them right. Bears at home, though, have looked damn good. Bears have looked solid these last few weeks. Beat the Lions, beat the Vikings, both playoff teams. Fringe playoff teams. Lost to the Lions in a game they should have won. Beat the Panthers the week before that. Should have beat the Saints the week before that. They're playing good football. Should have beat the Browns this week. I'm taking the Bears minus 4.5. Taking the Bears at home. Arizona's definitely the worst team on the field. And the Bears have played well against better competition. Beat the Vikings, beat the Lions, just barely lost to the Browns. I like the Bears in the spot. I really do. I'm going Bears. So go ahead and hammer Arizona, everybody. Colin, thoughts here?
Not only have the Bears been playing good football as of late, but Arizona is also coming off the San Francisco 49ers, which everybody knows the old adage. Every team that plays the week after you play San Francisco,
they lose.
Normally they fall apart. So give me those Chicago Bears at home for more the reason than one. I just think they're playing damn good football right now.
Yeah, I agree. agree.
They are playing damn good football. Fields playing damn good football.
Yes, man, solid.
Just a little side piece, because this is going to impact on these two teams. I think both interested in this guy. But Marvin Harrison, ML Football on Twitter, who gives a shit. I mean, I've seen them swing and a miss on some stuff. But reports are saying, man, Ryan Fowler, Bleacher Report, Marvin Harrison Jr. might be a number 5 pick. Might fall behind a couple quarterbacks, a couple linemen.
Tackles, Olu
there's
Fashanu,
going to be a couple quarterbacks, a couple linemen. They're saying middle to late top 10. So Bears trade back, baby. Come on.
I will be. You know how when you can bet on the draft.
Yeah.
If his line is over under 4.5 or 5.5 for a draft pick, I am hammering under that.
He has to go top 5. Has to.
I mean,
he'll be the top 3 pick.
He should be. He should be. But
he might be the most.
I'm praying that's true and Bears sneaking. Later.
You just get some other.
If you guys could get Marvin Harrison Jr. with your
5%.
Actual first round pick.
Fuck. And you have number 1 overall pick that you just trade for a haul.
Please.
I want your next 3 first-round picks, and I want your best player.
Yeah.
And your best player.
And I want Putnam.
And I want
David
because I feel like it.
And I want all my picks back. Give me those Cardinals plus 4.5, baby. Kyler Murray coming into Chicago. He's gonna get a dub. I just think last week, it's gonna be hard on the Bears. They're gonna be thinking about it, and 4.5. I think that's the right line with the way the Bears have been playing, the way the defense looks. They create turnovers. They're getting pressure right now. Montez Sweat, great trade.
Great trade.
Michael Lombardi or whatever on Twitter
trade
saying that was the worst trade in history, worst contract.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Suck a dick, pal. Suck a dick. Packers fan McGee.
Yeah, Lombardi.
Seriously. But it's just Sweat has made such an impact for Eberflus's defense. We're actually creating pressure and in turn getting turnovers. But I just think somehow, some way, Arizona's going to do enough, keep it close, just to at least give me that cover. Do Bears win by 3 and it's ugly somehow, some way? I just don't see how this Bears team. It sickens me because I'm a huge fan. But how do they control a game start to finish and don't let a team back in? I just don't see how they do it because they always do. And Arizona will gladly come back in and cover this 4.5.
Yeah, on Montez Sweat, fun fact for you. Who currently leads the Washington Commanders in sacks?
Montez Sweat. Yeah.
Who leads the Bears in sacks?
Montez
Sweat.
Yeah.
He's got a total of 12.5 sacks this year, 6.5 on the Commanders, leads them still, and he's got 6 on the Bears, leads the Bears.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Stud.
I just love that people were saying no double-digit sacks in his career. All right, that's gone.
That's done.
Next? It's if he looks like this is totally worth the contract we gave him.
I mean, he's got 12. He's averaging. I mean, he's not quite at a sack a game, but nearly a sack a game. That's fantastic.
There was just one play, and it's just little things like this, but it was a run to his side, and instead of just committing to being inside because that's where he got pushed, he flips his hip and rotates back 180 the other way off of like a half spin, and it's like. Just nobody else on the Bears would do that shit. And it's like, so this guy's committed to every single play given his effort. And it's like, the last guy I saw do that was Akeem Hicks. And he's been off the team for 4 years. And now Sweat is a better player than him. And
more
it's
athletic,
like, please.
Yeah, that was a great trade in my opinion.
Yeah. Give me this Cardinals plus 4.5.
I like it. Bobby's riding with you on Arizona. And he's riding with you on Jacksonville.
Let's go.
All right. Let's get into the one. Ladies and gentlemen. It's rivalry week. We've waited all year for rivalry week. Haven't had a single one yet.
That's surprising.
Last year we had, 3, I think?
Yeah.
Dolphins, Bears, Dolphins, Ravens, and then Cowboys, Bears.
Yep. Last year.
I think Bears, Ravens. Did they not play that?
Last year? I don't think so.
No. Was it 2 years ago with Huntley? Or was it...
I can't remember.
Me neither.
Oh!
Was it
that was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Because it was Newman's wedding day, actually. I'm pretty sure we watched that in Bobby's hotel room. I'm fairly certain.
Bears sold.
I'm fairly certain.
I have to look this up, America. We have to know.
It was like November 16-ish.
November 21st, 2021, 2 years ago.
Did Dallas play Kansas City on that same week?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Because that will guarantee it. Because I was in Kansas City when Dallas
I mean, this was in Kansas. It was in Chicago. Bears did sell. They were winning.
Yeah, they sold. Huntley came back.
They did sell. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, week 11 of 2021 season.
I want to say that was.
That wasn't Newman's wedding, was it? Was that time? Yeah, because I just had a baby and I was back to work. Yeah, and we were in Kansas City a couple weeks before that, and you're like, I'm coming right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was it. Slabs. Yes.
That's when I first got it, that day.
Oh, wow. What a day in history. Shout out Slabs. All right. It's Dallas going to Miami. Now, I'm not going to give in-depth right now. This is going to be just cut and dry quick. The in-depth stuff's coming later this week. Colin and I will be doing a joint preview video for this football game over Zoom. It's going to be electric. It's going to be a 20 to 30 minute of some heavyweight blows. It's going to be a great one. This game is going to be a great one. This is one of the games of the weekend, maybe the game of the day Sunday. Addison, what are your thoughts on this football game?
Well, we got one good team versus one bad team. No, we got two.
Don't talk about the Cowboys like
We
that.
got
man.
I don't know what team you're talking about.
Don't talk about them like
Two
that.
great teams playing each other.
2
Some
10-4
massive,
squads.
Some great games this week. 2 elite games.
Yeah.
I will say, Colin, you brought up the stat last week about Dak and those Cowboys as underdogs, and guess what? This line reads underdog for those Cowboys, and it scares me. But you know what I do?
Yeah,
I I pay taxes, and I pick
against
those
the
Dolphins spread, baby. Give me those Cowboys plus the 1.5. I think a bounce back week. Some weird shit, Colin. We were talking about it during that Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Some plays here or there. The Diggs fumble, penalty on a 3rd down. A running, it was a running to the punter, but it's just like roughing punter. But it's like
everything that could go wrong went wrong.
They extended Buffalo's drives. They took advantage with touchdowns, and that pays when you play good teams.
Yep.
Obviously, Miami's a good team. Just don't commit those penalties. Try to keep a good, calm, cool, collected game. It'll be a lot closer. And this is just going to come down to the wire. I mean, you're flipping a coin, really.
It really
these are 2 really good teams. I mean, if they both show up and play their best game, over under at one point, you're going to see a 90 potentially on that shit. You can see 40 burger from both teams. You really could. If the offenses roll.
The offense is doing their thing. I will say, Miami's defense.
I know, both defenses are good.
In the NFL
both
right now.
Defenses are
I got a picture of where each of them are ranked.
doesn't that just set up where they both allow 30
They both just, huge amount of points.
Just offense after, but either way, no matter how this game plays out, if both defenses show up or both offenses show up,
it's going to be
a damn good game.
It's a heavyweight match.
It is, man. You just love to see it. Yep. And getting those Cowboys though plus the 1.5 because it's a must. I have to.
You have to do it.
It's an impulse.
I will say in the NFL this year, Cowboys 6th ranked offense, 6th ranked defense. Crazy. Yeah. Dolphins 1st ranked offense, 5th ranked defense. That's like the shocking part for the Dolphins. Like it's always been all gas, no brakes. We're not going to stop anybody, but we're going to outscore you. Now it's like. Damn, they're kind of stopping everybody, too. I mean, 0 points last week. Jalen Ramsey has transformed that defense, man. Unless your name is Will Levis with 4 minutes left to go, and then you're going to compete.
No, every team's going to have one of those.
Everyone's going to have one. Yeah. But the defense has been where we've been great this past several. Since the Buffalo Bills game in Week 4, the defense has been awesome.
We're episode after episode after episode asking for it. Say, where's it at, Vic?
Where are we going?
It's finally showing up, and look what happens. Man. Watch the fuck out.
Bradley Chubb, 3 sacks last week, and he stepped up, and we needed him to. I am going to take the home Dolphins in this one strictly because it's in Miami. If this game's in Dallas, give me Dallas minus whatever the pointage is because Dallas, undefeated at home. Dallas is 3-4 on the road, and their 3 wins are against the Giants, Chargers, and the Panthers. Those are not anything to write home about, and they looked rough against the Bills. I will say Dallas looked great in Philadelphia. Should have won in Philly. But it's a game where Miami is good at home, 6-1 at home on the year with 1 ugly loss. Yeah. To be fair, tough loss to the Titans, man. A terrible loss we'll talk about forever. But since it's in Miami, I would love this game on a neutral field. But since it's in Miami, I do like the Dolphins in this spot. Colin, brief thoughts on this football game.
Yeah, brief thoughts. Dallas on the road. You can talk about it all day long. Dallas is underdogs. You can talk about it all day long. But if you think I'm going to look in this camera whenever my team's playing one of my friends' teams and pick my friend's team, you've got to be shitting yourself. Because there's no way in hell I'm taking Miami when Dallas is playing Miami. I'm taking Dallas here. I will ride and die with my pick and with my team.
Love it.
Big thing, Tyreek Hill's health, Zach Martin's health. Those are two ginormous parts of this team. Because you saw Dallas's, I don't want to get too much in it, their vulnerability on their offensive line is Terrence Steele at right tackle. If you lose your all-pro right guard,
Hall of Fame right guard.
It could be a long day, so we'll leave it at that. I do like the under of this game. I do think, surprisingly, it's a defensive battle because where is Dallas susceptible? Running the ball against that defense. What is Miami really good at doing with a two-headed monster? And what runs the clock? Running the ball. I like the under in this game. But give me Dallas here because I can't pick Miami. I can't pick Baltimore.
Do that. No,
I can't pick Indianapolis. I can't pick Chicago.
I can see 9 to 10 possessions and like 7 touchdowns. Each team. Dude, I'm not kidding, man.
If all goes well.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah, I could see it like 35-38.
Yeah.
Like a Week 1 Miami Chargers game.
Yeah. Just a
like that,
shootout. Yeah.
I don't see it. I think it is going to go under.
I think Martin and Hill are both going to play.
Maybe Bland getting a pick 6.
That'd be wicked.
Hey, Tua's gone 3 games with no turnovers.
These do.
See what Dallas needs for that to happen for a Bland pick 6
is for everything,
you need Miami to try to do like a cute 2-minute drill in
the first half. Stupid and throw
because
a pick.
It always results in a hold your breath,
puck your butt. It does, dude.
Yeah.
I will say ESPN Analytics. 49.8, 49.8, fucking 50-50,
That's
baby.
Wicked, man.
And if you look at these two teams, and we'll get more into this later in the week, but these are the same teams. they're each division, like each conference. Miami are the Cowboys. Cowboys are Miami. This offense can go absolutely nuclear. Both offenses can. They've shown it all season. Their defense can get got on the road against teams that are more physical. 49ers, Buffalo Bills. We lost in Buffalo 48-20. Cowboys just lost, what was it, 31-10. Like,
on a bullshit touchdown.
Right, and everyone wants to say, they can't beat any good teams on the road. Okay, well, maybe we won't have to because we're both going to win our fucking divisions because the Eagles are going to lose 2 of their last 3 against the Giants in Arizona, baby. Tommy Kellitz. This is going to be an awesome football game. We're going to enjoy watching this one and then rooting for each other's teams. And hopefully this is a Super Bowl preview. Hopefully both teams 10-4. Kevin's already looking up prices.
I will personally jerk off every male in the DeVito family if somehow the Eagles lose 2 of the next 3.
Well, DeVito family's probably a bit to the
with my right hand too.
Oh,
dominant hand only.
It was good. Slide in those DMs.
Oh my. Oh man. All right, let's get into Sunday Night Football. This game's a real stinker. I'll call it what it is. New England at Denver. Denver -7. Colin, it's your Broncos. What are your thoughts on this football game?
Is it too late to flex?
Why is this not Miami and Dallas, dude? Why is this not Miami-Dallas?
Why can't this be literally any other game on the thing? Give me Denver in the Mile High. One of the top 5 home field advantages, in my opinion, in the league. New England's still in disarray. What are they doing? Lord knows.
Losing.
What is Denver doing? Lord knows. But give me Denver. Fuck it.
I'm also on Denver as well. I think a little bit of the Sean Payton, Russ. I think that might actually bring the offense together.
Maybe it will.
Watch out, man. They need it now. And
Russ kind of responds.
Sometimes you butt heads. You know what I mean? And in the heat of the battle with the guys, and at the end of the day, that's what Sean Payton is to them. He's their coach, but that's somebody that Russ clearly feels like he can obviously go back at. I just don't think that that's it can be a bad thing, but they can also channel it into a great thing for Denver, and they have an opportunity to make the playoffs still.
Yeah.
And New England's a cupcake, man.
They are. They're bad.
Well,
never know though.
Depending on the week.
Yeah, I know.
Depends on the week.
7 is a lot, but
a lot of points.
Is Abby coming out throwing it all around like he did against Pittsburgh, or is he going to come out and they're going to play like they did last week?
Yeah, they scored 17, which is kind of almost a season high.
Denver wants a chance to make the playoffs. Obviously,
They have
it doesn't
to win.
matter if they look good this game and then lose the rest. But for them, I want to see a domination start to finish, and just don't even give New England a chance because they haven't really done that since their little winning streak Denver had, and they've always lost a couple. Need a bounce back.
Yeah, I didn't ride the high of Denver like you guys may have been. I wasn't all in on them. However, I'm also not going to ride the low of Denver. I'm not going to stoop down and be like, oh, they're dead. No, you know who is dead? It's New England and everything that they know and love and cherish up in Boston. Their whole team is bad, except their defense has played well. But Bill Belichick is probably on the way out. He'll be in L.A., probably coaching the Chargers next year if he doesn't retire. But they're no good. They're on the road in Denver. I agree. I think I like that Russ reminds me of a type B human being. He needs someone to rein him in, to control him sometimes. He's not going to be the guy. He'll run the sideline and yell, hey, sideline, let him know, run a pass, let him know. But he's not the guy to scream at you. Sean Payton's the guy to scream at you. I think Russ will respond. I really do. I think Russ responds, and they keep their faint, but still their playoff hopes alive with a win over New England.
Yeah, you think in Seattle, Pete was always cheery 24/7?
No.
I feel like Pete could get on your ass.
Pete can get on your ass.
It's like, man, you're not
who couldn't get on
someone?
someone? Right, and Sean Payton's a no bullshit coach, unlike Nathaniel Hackett last year. Like, yeah, Russ, you can have your own office, bring your own guys in. And if you let Russ run the show, it's not going to work. But if you coach him the way he needs to be coached, I think they can be good. And they've been a lot better this year, obviously. And I'm not going to ride the low of Detroit winning in Detroit over Denver. Detroit's a hard place to play, and Detroit is awesome in that dome. But in Denver, I like Denver here.
I almost shamelessly love whatever coach and players go at it.
Same.
It just shows that they
care.
Truly care.
They care.
And it's like, if you're just going to bottle it all up and talk shit about each other, behind each other's backs.
As long as it's warranted.
As
long as it's a warranted thing.
It's like I guarantee they went to the locker room after the game and they're just like, you know what?
No, that's just
we'll talk.
We were battling.
We'll talk
we were battling in the
right,
heat
you're
of the battle,
in
man.
war.
Yeah, we're literally fighting for our fucking playoff lives right here, and some shit's not going our way. Yeah, we're all pissed. Let's get it together.
Yep.
Yeah.
And and they were coming off a good win against the Chargers, but a tough loss to the Texans week before that. It's like, damn it, we were right here.
Yeah.
I think Peyton can get it out of them, and I think they just blow the doors off New England.
Broncos still in their last 7 or something, 6-1 or something like that.
6-2 now.
6-2 in the last 8. Yeah.
That's damn good.
Good wins over the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And Browns. I mean, those are good wins.
Yeah.
So I like Denver to just absolutely pump the New England Patriots this week.
Mm-hmm.
We got 3 games on Monday, fellas. Merry freaking Christmas. I will say these first 2 kind of stinkers, but it's football on Christmas. It's 3 days, or 3 games. It's going to be great. Sit in, eat your cookies, open your presents, and watch some NFL football, baby. We got an AFC West matchup. Vegas Raiders going to Kansas City, taking on those disappointing Chiefs. Man, talk about disappointing seasons from the 2 Super Bowl teams last year. Honestly, like the Eagles have fallen off a little bit. Chiefs, you cannot trust a wide receiver on that team. You can't. Travis Kelce looks like he has lost a step. That drop touchdown against the Patriots, I think he was trying to catch it like quick and bring it in to absorb the blow. Absorb the blow. There it is. But it's Kansas City -10. Colin, what are your thoughts on this football game?
Listen, Aiden O'Connell is balling. No, I'm kidding. Give me the Chiefs at home. Listen, question marks at receiver. I understand it. Defense is still solid. Aiden O'Connell's had a best week of his life last week against the helpless Chargers.
He really did.
Give me Kansas City at home.
True.
You got Andy Reid's going to be wearing a Santa costume on the sideline.
Yeah, he might be.
He should.
And he's going to get his 2 cheeseburgers after the game.
Definitely a second cheeseburger.
At least 2.
Give me Kansas City at home by a lot.
Little Christmas milkshake.
Christmas milkshake.
By a lot.
By a lot. You think this is their get-right game?
I think this is a Kelsey, Swift,
Reed, Merry Christmas.
Mahomes, Jackson Mahomes.
Whoa. Brady Mahomes.
Christmas celebration in Arrowhead.
And after the game, Taylor Swift drops her new Christmas album that no one knows about.
Her and Travis drop a single.
Travis and Jason are on it. Yeah. All right.
In Milata.
Yeah, in Milata. He can sing.
Yeah.
This guy's got a voice of an angel. Addison, thoughts on this football game?
Yeah, Vegas scored the rest of their points for the season all in that game
Yes,
against the
they
Chargers.
did.
I think they might not score again.
All done.
Give me Kansas City -10. I love to see that Mahomes is still pissed when they're winning and Tony has a turnover because at the end of the day, they are expecting greatness. They got to get it figured out. Like, if it means Tony's benched, I get it. He's an athlete when he has the ball in his hand. Ball can't get in his hand often.
You can return kicks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him returning my punts.
Yeah, no.
No, sir.
No.
Fumble Rooskies.
Well, maybe.
Might be the longest return in the Super Bowl history.
Well, yeah, right.
That was
Last
wicked.
year,
That was
yeah.
wicked.
This year, he's
Yeah,
got the
now it's
yips.
confidence.
He's got the
It's
Thomas
confidence.
Anderson yips.
Yeah, but
You go from receiver to returner. If you fuck up returner, you go
You're
to
gone.
back spot.
you got a fucking gunner. Yeah.
Gunner.
Yeah, seriously.
Then they run a fake punt and get it on you.
Yeah, and they get it on you.
That's why the Eagles got it. Cowboys have their 3rd receiver as a gunner. Their 4th receiver
That
as a
doesn't
gunner.
make any
It's like,
sense.
what are you doing?
It's
I'm
like,
not throwing fakes at y'all
Yeah,
day.
the Bears literally have their corners as their gunner. They call
Yeah,
their corners.
so do the Dolphins.
Doesn't that make so much more sense?
Yeah, that does.
Totally. But Kansas City -10.
Yeah.
I think their offense looked good last week. Obviously, some dumb turnovers gave the Patriots some easy points. Vegas, again, obviously offense looked good, but they're gifted his points as well against the Chargers. Turnover after turnover after turnover. As long as Kansas City keeps the ball, division opponent who's honestly had success against Mahomes in his career. Not this week though. Don't care. Give me Kansas City -10. I think it's a beatdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you guys, or with you two, because Bobby's on the Raiders. Bobby's on the Patriots and the Raiders. Bobby,
Ugh.
I got questions, buddy. I got questions.
He's also on the Chargers.
And the Saints. I don't know what he's doing. He's really out there this week. I love it. He's either gonna look like an absolute
This is
genius.
a fucking week for Bobby.
It is. He's like, I gotta send some Hail Marys.
Underdogs? No.
Uh,
he took Cincinnati.
Yeah, and he took Green Bay and Miami, but close. He's right there.
Yeah.
He took like 7 home favorites. He take all underdogs now. He's got only 6.
That was
favorites.
4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Like every
he
single
did
underdog.
take every underdog. But I'm going to ride with you guys on Kansas City -10 here. I also think the Raiders, good job. You scored 60-something points. Riding that high.
Yeah.
Riding that high. Right into Kansas City where you get absolutely beaten by 11 points. Because the Chiefs can't blow anybody out this year. Clearly, they're not the same team that they have been. But the Raiders are not a good football team. Let's not kid ourselves. They beat the Patriots by 10. I think they can beat the Raiders by 10, honestly. I do.
I mean, obviously, we were talking about. I think Kansas City maybe was hoping Kelsey would not take this big of a fall off the cliff.
Yeah,
this quickly.
they were,
They
for
thought,
sure.
obviously, this is going to happen.
It's built
but
around him still
he's
being
still
the
going to
guy.
have great numbers. But
Yeah.
physically, you can just tell, man, it's not the same.
Yeah.
He's taken a bigger step than they were hoping and anticipating.
Yeah. I agree.
Backwards, yeah.
I just think last year they went with the no receiver.
Mhm.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we can
Yeah.
win
We won the Super Bowl. We're
Yeah.
good.
And then this year they're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
We actually
Yeah.
might need a receiver.
Yeah, we might need some help.
Chiefs are the same team. The Raiders are the same team.
Yes. And Chiefs are much better than the Raiders.
The Raiders are bad.
Raiders are bad. All right, let's get into an NFC East matchup. Upset special
Yes.
coming at you. New York Giants. Tommy Cutlets. You know what? I am slightly okay with the fact that the Giants fell apart last week and got smacked by the Saints because it was just a little bit too much Linsanity for me.
Yeah.
Just a little too much. We got his agent, the Italian agent, was inducted into the American Italian Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Who? What? Why? Why was he in? Because he's Tommy DeVito's agent? Did he do something else I don't know about? Like, he's getting pictures before the game, show off his fit, show off his watch. I'm like, okay, all right, too much. You've overdone it. You've overdone it with Tommy DeVito and Tommy Cutlets. They fell all the way back down to earth, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. And it's 11.5 points. That's so many points. That's so many points. I just hate the thought of that because the Eagles look bad, but I think they're going to fly against the Giants. In Philly, if there's ever going to be a bounce-back game for the Eagles, it's got to start. It's got to happen, man. They have not looked good in their last, 5 games?
7.
Like 7 games?
Last 14 games.
The last all season? They haven't looked like every single week we say, oh, this will be the week they figure it out. Like, they're going to look like the Eagles. They're going to be okay. And they just haven't. They just haven't done it yet, man. I think the Niners might have broken them 3 weeks ago. Eagles coming off 3 straight losses. And that Seahawks loss was brutal, man. You lost to Drew Lock. You can't have that. But they still hold the keys to the division. It's still Philadelphia. And it's the Giants, man. The Giants just lost by, 20-something points to the Saints? It's Philly in this spot. Philly is the home team here. Give me the Eagles. Colin.
Finally, Philadelphia flexes their muscle. It's the team they swept 3-0 last year to regular season.
And
smoked them in the playoffs in their route to the hardest Super Bowl path of all time.
I think we clean swept the Giants in the playoffs.
I think we might have.
I think we did too, because it was like a crazy
Some guy
spread.
in the comments was like, y'all are fucking idiots. It's not like shit. He got our ass.
That's fair.
Hey, you guys.
Give me the Eagles here at home. I think finally they flexed a little bit, and 11.5 isn't enough to scare me against the Giants.
Yes, the Giants.
Against the Giants.
I agree.
Give me those cutlets.
Cutlets. Addison wants a
Plus
steak.
the 11.5 Christmas
cutlets.
Day cutlets, baby. Philly. They haven't done it in so long. Start to finish.
They haven't.
And now turned over their opponent. This is the team to do it against in the Giants, but we've, like you said, been saying it all year. Just don't. I'm not believing right now, man. I just don't even see a playoff win in their future, which is scary to say that because if they win out, they're going to host a game.
Yeah.
But it's just, does that even bring confidence? I don't know. But give me the Giants plus 11.5. Eagles, figure that shit out.
Seriously, man, it's crazy. Is this, and then we'll get into this next game. Is this the first time in NFL history where the 2 number 2 seeds have faced each other and the 2 number 1 seeds have faced each other?
That may be.
Dolphins and Cowboys both number 2 seeds, and then Ravens and Niners both number 1 seeds. That thought just occurred to me. I was like, oh my god, that's legit. That's what it is right now. That's crazy. But so Addison on the Giants, Bobby is with us on the Eagles in that one, and then the grand finale of the weekend, man. Baltimore at San Francisco. San Francisco minus 5.5. It's the 2 number 1 seeds. It's the 11-3 Ravens going to the 11-3 49ers. 49ers look absolutely unstoppable right now. Colin, what are your thoughts on this football game?
I think this might be a potential beat down on Christmas Day.
Beat down?
Beat down
Sage Brown's team.
On Sage Brown's team. San Francisco is just so fucking good.
Yes.
Sorry, Swear Jar, you're getting hit so many times this episode.
Hammered. We're going to be rich.
San Francisco's so good. I think they have so much speed and containability on the edges. They did it they set the blueprint against the Eagles a few weeks ago. Hey, Dallas, I hope you're watching.
Yeah.
In Nick Bosa's monotone Dahmer voice.
Hope you're watching.
Hope you're watching. I think they can contain Lamar here. I'm not scared of Baltimore's weapons through the air, receiving-wise, and they just lost Keon Mitchell with an ACL, and that was their big dynamic home run hitter.
He was their home run hitter for sure.
So now what, you're going to start running Lamar more?
Yeah, it's all Gus Edwards or Lamar, man. I don't know if I trust that.
I think San Fran might roll by
40.
a few scores, to put it lightly, a few scores. So
nice.
give me those Niners at home to complete my home team sweep of Christmas Day.
Okay. Addison.
I'm also on those Niners, Chiefs. I agree, man. I think this might be a beatdown and it might be a little bit of an exposure of these Baltimore Ravens, and this might be the start of a 3-game losing streak for the Ravens and some out of outrageous take. A little spoiler. We'll get there. But Christian McCaffrey, obviously it's fantasy, but when you're going up against one of the best defenses in football, and you are projected 22 points. He's projected 22 against the number 1 red next to him.
Yep.
It's like, all right, what? This guy's going to score 30 points fantasy. He's just going to have an impact on the game start to finish. The fact that his usage, he should be MVP.
You're playing him against me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm playing him in the redraft league, man. Dang. All right, whatever. Cook me in the redraft. Or cook me in the dynasty. I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Give me the redraft money. Give me the redraft money.
But yeah, San Fran, minus 5.5. I just think... overall, they're just going to be too much. And I haven't been sold on Baltimore's defense late. If they're going to need a stop after stop after stop against a team of this level in San Fran where they can go out and score every possession, I just don't know if Baltimore's going to be able to get it. They create pressure, but San Fran's going to be able to keep Purdy up, just move the ball down the field, and good luck, Lamar. Nick Bosa's coming, man. He hunts differently when it's by quarterback.
He does. No, he
genuinely
does.
You see the memes, but it's like all black quarterback room, and Nick Bosa is salivating. He's going to get 5 seconds. It's wild, dude. It's wild, but
yeah, he really does.
San Fran minus 5.5.
Yeah, it is hard to pick against San Francisco. San Francisco looks awesome once again after losing 3 straight. After they went on a little bit of run, the 3 teams they lost to. Do you guys know who those 3 teams were?
Yeah.
Browns, Vikings,
Joe Burrow.
Bengals.
Yeah.
2 losses to the AFC North. The Ravens division. AFC North. I'm riding with the Ravens on the road here. They are both 1 seeds. Is this a game, like, are we going to see I don't know. Niners, if they're fully healthy, man, they're a complete wagon. And I think they're completely healthy. So they should roll. I mean, it's the 2 number 1 seeds. These teams have the best records in the NFL. No other team has 11 wins. Just these 2. These are the only 2 teams with 11 wins. Brock Purdy looks like the MVP. It's only 5.5 in San Francisco. Everything is screaming, take the Niners. But Vegas thinks the Niners are only, 2 points, 2.5 points better. You know, they get the 3-8 for being at home. They think this will be close. I think it's going to be close, too. I think that the key to this game will be Lamar Jackson, obviously, and keeping the ball away from San Francisco. If he can just long drive them just cook the clock and hold on to the ball, maybe they lose, but I think they keep it close and keep it low scoring. Give me the Ravens, baby. Give me the AFC team. Come on, man.
Talking about McCaffrey, maybe MVP, Addison, you brought that argument up. It tells you something when he catches a pass, literally goes all the way to the ground, and gets up and runs an untouched for a touchdown. It's like, so how open was this guy? Where's the nearest defender?
It was like second quarter, and I was looking, and McCaffrey was minus 125 anytime, Todd. I obviously threw my whole account on it.
Of course. Freest money ever.
Yeah.
He's so good, dude.
I'm pissed. I didn't look at what he was to score 3, because it would have been like plus 7,000, plus 4,000 probably.
I would say I bet on Jalen Hurts to score 2 touchdowns last night. It was only like plus 300. I only put 5 on it.
That's gross.
I know, that's it. I was like, oh, that's it for 2 touchdowns, man. Come on, that's tough because they know he's gonna get pushed in. Alrighty, it's time for some mortal locks. You guys got some good ones ready to roll with? Because I don't.
I prepared everything but my mortal lock. That's
yes.
shocking.
Yes.
All right, I got one.
Addison wants to lead us off. Ooh wee. Bobby sent his. I believe his is the Jaguars.
Okay.
Bobby's on the Jags plus the 1.5 points. Addison, what you got for me?
Last week, this team did it for 2 of the guys on this pod with a sneaky overtime cover. Give me those Bengals minus 1.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mason Rudolph at quarterback. I just don't believe in Pittsburgh's offense to be able to move the ball. And with Jake Browning as quarterback with a week of practice, they're scoring 27 minimum. So give me those Bengals minus 1.5 on the road. Steelers are cooked.
Yeah, love it. I'm jumping in here, Con. I'll let you think about it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. This one is a play. This one's for me. This one's for America, everybody. It's the Indianapolis Colts plus 1.5. It's the Colts plus 1.5, baby. Atlanta stinks. I don't care if it's Taylor Heineke. It doesn't matter if it's him. It doesn't matter if it's Desmond Ridder. Bijan Robinson's not going to get the ball. Drake London's not going to get the ball. And Kyle Pitts isn't going to get the ball. Colts coming off a huge win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a better defense. And they scored 30 points on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the Colts plus 1.5. Come on. Colin, bring us home.
Ultimate bounce back spot. Nobody's high on this team anymore. 3 straight losses. Coming home to a team they just dominate the last 5 years. Give me those Philadelphia Eagles at home minus the 11.5 points this week. I think they win by 2 to 3 touchdowns easily.
Ooh-wee. That is a big spread.